little train. Okay, so let me share, make sure this is great. Okay, so you should be able to see this screen. Hopefully it's working right. Is, yeah, come on. All right, it's sharing. Okay, so as you're filling this out, a couple of things, I want you to put your paychecks in here. This is where you put your paycheck, okay? You also need to put the net amount after taxes and deductions, okay? So, because that's the money you have to spend for the month. I saw a couple of you put your gross amount in there, but that's not going to give you an inaccurate budget because like you don't get to spend your gross money because some of that money is going to the federal government, right? So you put that figure there. Then, so this first column, so you really aren't going to probably put anything up here, right? Then this is your budget column. So I know, and like I said, like you put in what are you expecting to pay? Like, so on any student loans, credit cards, autos, you put your minimum. Okay, what's the minimum due, right? Then if you have any additional interest income, so for example, if you move your emergency fund into neighborhood credit union, you should be getting about 3% interest on your money every month. If there's any miscellaneous income you do from like odd jobs, selling things, overtime potentially, I don't know, obviously that would probably show up here, but if there's additional income, then these are all your bills. So create a good list of what your bills are. They may not be these exactly. What is the expected amount of money you want to spend every month so that when you get to this number here, that's your monthly budget. Like that's what your target is, okay? That's what this column's for. The next column is your actual, like what did you actually spend? You said you wanted to spend, maybe 50 bucks on electric, but it came in at 75 because you left the lights on or something like that, right? Or you wanted to spend $50 on entertainment, but you ended up spending 100 or eating out or Amazon, right? Like it will help you recognize in this column, what is different, right? So like I sometimes put this like in yellow and blue. I like colors. You don't have to do that. But like blue are the fields like I'll be touching every month. Like this you set, okay, in yellow. And then like I would put paychecks deposited in, like these paychecks are from what month? A lot of times they're coming from the prior month and then the bills are being paid in the current month. So sometimes I organize it that way. So that's why I put those in yellow to remind me like, okay, when did this money come in and when is the bill being paid? And I'll enter in what month, okay? So this is your actual column, all right? Then what's going to happen is you will enter in how much are you giving, okay? Then kids college fund, I put these in blue, 401k, IRA, because you put them in both columns, because what you want to do is this is your actual budget, like, or what did you end up spending? So like, your budget is 5,000 for the month or 10,000 for the month. And you ended up spending, 6,000 if you're on a $5,000 budget or 11,000, you'll realize, okay, I overspent. So therefore I ended up having to pull money out of savings basically to pay my bills for the month. Okay. Or I'm putting money on a credit card to pay my bills for the month, which is not good. But at least it forces you to be aware of it. I was for a very long time in the red when I would do this budget. Every month I'd be like, whoa, I'm overspending every month. I got to get a little bit more. I got to figure this thing out. Then this column I put in blue because this is where you're going to enter how much did you save, right? Like how much did you put in your kids' college fund? How much did you put in your 401k, right? Because then you get credit because like this is going to be your net paycheck after, your deductions, 401k and everything. But then you get credit down here, like how much did you put in your 401k? And that add up. So that way you can see how much you save per month, okay? Then I saw a lot of people that weren't filling this stuff down here. So what I want you to do is actually, I'm going to update this. This needs to be your money market account or checking account. So this would be like your emergency fund to a degree, right? So like how much do you have in your emergency fund? So we could call this checking, money market, or emergency fund. Okay. And that way, when you look at this each month, you can say, okay, like when you turn this into me, next month, the following month, a year from now, we can track this to see how much do you have in 401k, right? If you've got 10,000 in it, every month you want to see that figure going up. If you're trying to build your emergency fund, you want to see that every month going up. So checking account or savings or anything like that, you put in this line. Anything you have from 401k, anything like mutual fund or Robinhood, right? Like the Robinhood account, put that on this line because that's a stock, that's non-retirement. Or actually, I guess you put that here. So if you're doing individual stocks, it's here. If it's a mutual fund, that'd be SPY. So like me and Roger talked a little about, or even Ryan about the stock S&P 500. You put that on that line. Your equity in your home. Take what it is on Zillow or wherever you want to pull the value from and minus out your mortgage. See how much equity you have in your home. Then you can see how, and then that should all add up to your net worth. Okay. Then you want to track how much you're saving per month, or sorry, year to date, giving year to date. Okay. And then I don't know if any of y'all have any rental properties, but I guess you could do it. So these are the things that I would be like almost like manually entering. These are have formulas associated with them. Money market flow, and then money market. Oh, I guess money market balance. A lot of times, I guess the checking and money, these would probably be the same account. So I sometimes track it a little bit differently, but I don't know. These would probably be the same actually. So we might be able to just delete out this one, but I'll let you kind of decide how you want to do that. I kind of break it out a little bit. But any questions? Does that make sense? So like the things in blue, you're going to be filling in every month. The amount saved, like also this is where additional money for debt goes. So like, for example, if your minimum on your student loan is 100, but you paid 250, well, you get credit because you threw an extra 150 to pay off that debt. So that counts as savings, right? Then same here, credit card, your minimum payment's 25, but you threw 500 at it. So you have 475 extra that counts towards savings. Savings is being whatever is going into your building your emergency fund, paying off debt, building up your 401k, or paying off your mortgage. Any of that, like so even if you paid extra on your mortgage, you might put that up here, okay? And then that will all add up. So kids college fund, 401k, all that will add up to your total save. So you can track each month how much you save. And then we'll look at this together and it'll tell me your percentage you saved right here. So I will never be sharing your personal budget with anybody else on the team, but we will look at this and create competition and fun and collaboration and accountability and sharing best practices around like who is saving the most, who, how are you progressing on your baby steps, things like that. So we can celebrate wins. So any questions? Is that helpful?
Yes. You added some additional columns at the bottom or rows at the bottom, right?
These are just for extra spaces.
No, I mean at the very bottom. There. No. Yes, there above. Where you have the net worth. Did you added something? 401k. It's more rows, right?
Don't
worry, I'll go back and look at the video.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So just net worth, total net worth, cash net worth. Total net worth is with the house. Cash net worth is just what you have in stocks and mutual funds. But yeah, I don't think there's any extra rows in that.
You just renamed them. That's what you were doing just a minute.
Oh yeah, this one right here. Yeah, so I added in that, but technically you could put it right there. So that might be a little, you don't necessarily have to do that. So we probably can just delete that out right there, Grace, and just enter in your emergency fund here.
Okay, got it.
Okay, that way you can track how much your emergency fund, because in essence, this will tell you how much you should have. If you're doing whatever this number is, it multiplies it by 3 to generate like, I know me and Kasha talked at one point, she wants 6 months emergency fund, which is great. I encourage that, but sometimes it's 3 months. So what you could do is take this Kasha on your budget and change that to 6, right? And then that's what you're trying to get to, is you want 6 months emergency fund because you feel more comfortable with that. So you just want to be between 3 to 6. Okay.
Got it.
Boom. All right, so stop it.